And wouldn't it be good, even if I don't care who you root for. You root for Milwaukee, you root for the Celtics, you root for the Hawks, you root for the Lakers, you root for whoever you root for. Tell me that the NBA is not better, is not bigger, doesn't have just a bigger feel in general when the Knicks are at least somewhat relevant. Guys are desperate to go to New York and perform on this enormous stage when the Knicks are 11-39. Could you imagine the attraction for other players if the Knicks were actually a team that was capable of doing anything and winning games? Now, God help me. Because you're a Knicks fan, and this is what runs through your mind. You'll get the 5th pick, you'll wind up with Bol, you'll wind up with Jimmy Butler, and you'll wind up with Chris Middleton. And that will be the result of this horrendous season. But maybe, just maybe, it won't be. Maybe, just maybe, for once, you get Zion. And I got to be honest, I love Zion. He's the guy. I think he's sensational. But if you told me right now, like if you locked it into me right now, Dave, let's make a deal. Remember that show, Let's Make a Deal? I might be dating myself, but Let's Make a Deal with Monty Hall. And it was on even recently on CBS. Let's make a deal. And they would say, here's the thing. You can have this, or you can hold off for another. If the NBA gods came to me right now and said, we will offer you Ja Morant, you will not get Zion, would you take that right now? My answer would be 100% yes. So if I could wind up with either Morant or Williamson, couple that together with the available free agents out there in the NBA, got to be Kevin Durant, potentially Kyrie. Durant's the big fish. If you get Durant and Middleton or Durant and Walker, I could live with it. But if you get that and you're the Knicks, I think immediately you're relevant. Immediately.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
ESPN Radio, ESPN News, coming at you as I love to do. Number to call was always 888 say ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive's Home Insurance. Get your quote at progressive.com today. Let's go to the phones at 888 say ESPN. Champ, what's going on, bro? Talk to me.
What's up, bro? Before I get into the Kevin Durant, I just want to say you do an outstanding job on First Take as well as the radio show.
Thank you.
And a lot of people don't understand the work you have put in. And what I love about you more than anything, you always get guys credit. You know, the voices that's not there, you always get them credit, and I respect that because a lot of people in the business take for granted the sources out here in the world. But, you know, in terms of Rick Bucher, I think he does an outstanding job as well. And I've been on record, you know, since last year, or a couple of years ago, about Durant to New York. And one thing, it was a dream for me to see Durant to go to New York. But then talking to people out here in the world and, you know, sources, I think it's a done deal. I always thought it was a done deal. But I think what's interesting about what's about to happen this summer, I think L.A. and Boston, meaning the Los Angeles Lakers and the Boston Celtics, going to play a major part to this whole Durant sweepstakes.
Why is that?
Here's why. He entertained Boston before he went to Golden State a few years ago, as well as he was supposed to get Houston an interview, and he didn't. And that kind of made the relationship between him and Harden, you know, kind of being like disarray. But this whole Boston piece, they have the pieces. If Golden State goes to them and say, hey, listen, we don't want you to go for nothing. We're going to re-sign Klay Thompson, and they do a sign and trade deal with Boston, I think then that may come into play. And then you got to understand, too, like you said, Durant could change his mind. What if LeBron sits down and they try to figure a way out to get Kyrie Irving?
All right, but see, here's the deal. Based on everything you're saying, it's not a lock that New York is the team. It's not a lock. That's the whole point. You know, listen, he can go or he may elect to go elsewhere, which is exactly my point. You know where my interest lies, champ? I want to see who's interested in playing with each other. See, I want to see who cats are willing to compete against, not just whether or not they're willing to join forces. You see, and if you are going to join forces, I'm not going to lie to you. Durant with LeBron would definitely appease me. I would love to see that. I really, really, really would. I'd love to see what that is like. You understand? But I would prefer to see them going head to head against each other. But we've already seen what's happened. What's happened because Kevin Durant was on a better team and he was, able to go right up against them. But I don't know if that'll ever happen. I'd love to see who's willing to go against each other, though.
Right. But again, I think this summer is going to be the first domino effect will be Klay Thompson. He re-signs with Golden State, and then the dominoes will fall from there. And I still believe that Durant will go to New York with Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler unless something changes. And then can the Clippers get Kawhi Leonard or can LeBron get Kawhi Leonard? I cannot see, with the way I look at basketball, KD and LeBron playing together, and they vying to see who's the best, and they playing the best. I mean, playing on one team. I just can't see that happen.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I don't know how the New York Knicks would get KD with Kyrie and Jimmy Butler.
Well, right now they have $32 million.
They got an additional $41 million in the Porzingis trade. New York Knicks are expected to have about $74 million available. And not only that, 76ers swear up and down they ain't trying to lose Jimmy Butler, even though I think their priority is going to be re-signing Tobias Harris. But I don't know if I don't know. I think the Knicks could potentially get two, or they might not get anybody. I definitely don't see them getting three different people though.
Well, the end is thing. If Klay Thompson re-signs with Golden State, and Durant leaves, and they fill the void with a three-man and make their bench deeper next year, they still will be the top two team to come out the West next year as a favorite. And if Durant goes to the New York Knicks with Kyrie Irving, we may be looking at a collision course of a Milwaukee, New York Conference Finals. And if LeBron get help, LeBron and the Lakers and Golden State, you talk about an NBA and bragging rights to say who's the best next year. Yeah. I think you got to pay attention to that.
I got you. I appreciate the call, bro. Right. Thanks so much for the call. Let's go to Devin. You're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Stephen A. What's going on? Big time fan, first time calling.
Appreciate you, man. Go ahead.
Let's get into it. I'm having a hard time, so I want you to help me out with this. How Kevin Durant, according to a lot of people, has become the best player in the league. And let me help you out. When I hear people say that, I understand that, he's on Golden State. He has the better team. But what has LeBron did? Because I remember I forgot what game it was. You were at the game. You said LeBron, you felt sorry for LeBron because every time he passed the ball to wide open shooters, they would miss it.
Right.
So explain to me how that discredits him from being the best or laying the throne down, as a lot of people say.
Well, first of all, I think that what has happened is that there was a period when he got hurt and he came back, he wasn't himself. So it's not like he can't reclaim that throne. It's not so much an indictment against LeBron because we all knew that he was hurt. It's about paying attention and recognizing the fact that he ain't the only great player in the game. And we've ignored a guy that's the reigning two-time champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP, who averaged 35 in the finals against LeBron, who's a career 27-point per game scorer, who LeBron on his best day could never shoot better than. Now, KD can't sit up there and run over people the way LeBron James can either. Kevin Durant goes to the rim. Kevin Durant will dunk on folks. Kevin Durant shoots threes. Kevin Durant is a career 49% shooter when a vast majority of his shots are perimeter shots. He's a career 38% shooter from three-point range. This is what he does. LeBron James is struggling shooting 66% from the free throw line. Kevin Durant's damn near 90%. These are the kind of things at some point in time, Devin, we got to pay attention to.
I get that. I really do.
I guess what I'm saying, Devin, is that I think sometimes people just go with the eyes, and I don't blame that because the eye test matters. But there's more than one way to skin a cat. If Kevin Durant, when you watch Kevin Durant shoot this basketball, LeBron can't shoot like that. Now, he can't run over people like LeBron does, but LeBron can't shoot like him. It does matter that Kevin Durant, monetarily speaking, in terms of numbers, Kevin Durant does what LeBron does. How do we ignore that?
I say this, and I'll go after this.
Okay.
To dictate the game how LeBron can with shooters around him. To say that, I'll give you that. LeBron can't shoot like KD, but KD can on his best day pass and dictate a game, a pace the way LeBron does when he has the shooters that he wants around.
Yeah,
but you taking the granted for his
but you can put it that way. You know what my retort to that would be, Devin?
Go ahead.
He doesn't have to, because LeBron, even though LeBron can score, and even though he can shoot, the reality is that he's a playmaker who does those things. Kevin Durant is a pure assassin. So it's all about your preference. Why would if I'm on the court, Devin, right, and I'm on the court with you, and I got a better chance of making a shot from 30 than you do from 15, why would I pass you the ball?
Well, I guess it's like what you say. It's preference. Do I want to force up a good shot even though I know I'm a better shooter, or would I want to make the right play to the guy who's wide open? Preference, I guess it is what I
Yes.
it is.
All I'm saying is that the fact that it's a discussion means that you don't be offended by knocking LeBron off that pedestal, but maybe you need to think about whether or not you're offending Kevin Durant by not putting him on it, because he's that elite. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Appreciate the call, man. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio, ESPN News. By the way, ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Quote, buy, and save on home insurance with Progressive's new Home Quote Explorer. Only at Progressive.com. We'll continue with these calls before getting into Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy and then some in hour number 2. Don't touch that dial. It's Friday, but your boy Stephen A. is right here on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Learn what affects your credit scores and what you can do to improve them with Credit Karma. Maybe you need to dispute an error in your credit report, or you're paying too much interest. Credit Karma can help with that. Visit creditkarma.com or download the app now. That's creditkarma.com.